nice falling head over wig for her.
Monsieur Dubois, why, Marianne wouldn't be interested in 1,000 Dubois. Just before we left Paris, we refused the Prince de Condé.
The Prince de Condé?
Just 1 month ago, we were singing a solo for the Queen.
Really? The Queen?
Yes, my dear.
Lovely, mademoiselle, lovely.
Oh, thank you, Captain. How long do you suppose it'll be before we... What's that noise, Captain?
Oh, the cattle in the hold, I suppose. Once in a while, the sea makes them rather restless. If Mademoiselle de Beaumanoir would sing for us, I'm sure the spell of her voice would make us deaf even to the roar of lions.
I'll try my powers. Will you play Paris in the key of D, please?
I was a stranger in Paris, facing no danger in Paris. It was evening in Paris, but somehow I faced him unknown. He was no stranger in Paris. He was no danger in Paris. He was handsome and charming, a man with a mind of his own. Now I'm no stranger in Paris. I face the danger in Paris and found heaven in Paris. Here's to romance, vive la France! He tipped his hat, I turned away. He said, he whispered, and that's the way they do it in Paris.
Well, Captain, I seem to have taught your cows a pretty song.
Mademoiselle, if you must know, they are cattle of a softer hide. If you make them sing, I'll make them dance. Establish discipline in the hold.
Oh, Louis, fat, but we are lean. If we complain, la guillotine. Oh, there's a madman in the Tuileries, 'cause that's the way they do it in Paris. You get no meat, you get no bread. So what to do?
Shove them.
Chop off your head. Without a mouth you won't get hungry. Oh, that's the way they do it in Paris.
Stop the pump!
Greetings, sir, and thanks for the shower.
For that, no meals tomorrow. Water and hardtack at noon only.
What about the captain's duty to the king?
What's that?
His duty is to sell bondsmen in New Orleans. If he keeps on starving us, he won't have anything to sell except skeletons for medical students. Food! We want air. We want light.
What's your name?
Charles Michon, at your service.
I'll report this to the captain in the morning. He might listen to you.
We want more now.
Did you got to do anything for us?
Have you heard, man? I'm going to see the captain in the morning.
Charles. Hope you can get us what we want, boy.
We're all back here.
We want to talk to you, Charles.
Aren't you fellas ever sleepy?
Me, Alexander, and Pierre, we think you better not go to see the captain tomorrow.
What, no humble request?
Suppose he finds out who you are.
I'm number 35, Charles Michon. Deported for singing seditious ditties in the streets.
An assumed name is not much of a disguise, Your Grace.
Charles, we three know that if Michon is guillotined, there won't be much left on the shoulders of the noble Duke Charles de Villiers.
Shh, Tonto.
Well, my friends, seems though my head is in your hands.
But we haven't told a soul, Your Grace.
Stop gracing me. If I'm found out and strung up, that won't make my grace look any more gracious.
So, you were caught again, huh?
Well, I managed to be arrested just outside Paris under a false name for a minor offense. Just enough to get myself safely deported from the clutches of the King's police.
But you won't get a chance to escape this time.
Oh, yes, I will escape. And every man in this cage with me. Just 1 month after this ship reaches New Orleans, another ship, the New Moon, will arrive there. A ship loaded to the hatches with arms and provisions. Captain Monteur, my brother-in-arms in the King's Navy, has had her secretly chartered just for our rescue. Quiet now. Shh. Let's keep the men hopeful and patient, but no word of this. Too many ears always end in one tongue too many. Tambour, go cheer the men.
Aye, aye. Michon.
Now look here, brothers. Now look here, brothers. Look here. I haven't done a wee bit of tramping on these oceans, and I've been caged up like this so many times, I ought to start sprouting feathers. Now, wait a minute. Now, if you want Charles to see the captain in the morning, keep alive and howling.
I'd like to see the captain, please.
He's not in, mademoiselle.
Well, isn't there anyone in?
Well, there is in a way.
Thank you, I'll wait. Oh, forgive my intruding, monsieur.
Forgive my shirt sleeves, mademoiselle.
I assume you're one of the officers.
You'll find no officer aboard more eager to please you than I, mademoiselle.
Thank you. Where is the captain?
I don't know, mademoiselle. He'll never forgive himself for having missed your visit.
You don't mind if I wait here for him, do you?
I beg you to. Please be seated.
Thank you. Of course, you might make note of my complaint and forward it to the captain for me.
But beauty should command, not complain, mademoiselle. What is your pleasure?
Well, my aunt sent me here. She's a very nervous person. She's had a difficult time to sleep on this ship, especially last night with the hold full of convicts yelling and yowling.
You mean the bond servants?
Yes, of course. I pity the poor men. I don't blame them for trying to have a little fun, but, well, if something could be done about it, I don't mean something unpleasant, of course.
I'm sure you don't, mademoiselle. Your face answers for your heart. Please tell your aunt that those men are going to be sold at auction among planters in New Orleans like so many heads of cattle. I do hope she'll consider their coming life of toil and starvation under the whip a satisfactory atonement for her sleepless nights.
Oh, I'll explain this to my aunt.
Explain to her as well while you're about it, mademoiselle, that those men were not having fun last night, but were clamoring for food to eat and air to breathe.
How terrible. Oh, under the circumstances, I'm sure my aunt will approve if I leave without seeing the captain. Monsieur.
I felt like kissing your hand on behalf of those abandoned men for your consideration of them. Am I forgiven? Am I forgiven?
Well, not that much. I thought I'd met all the officers on board, but I don't seem to remember you.
Will you remember me now?
Well, of course, it might help if I knew your name.
Charles Henri.
Well, those are both given names.
The only ones a woman really remembers.
You're very romantic, aren't you, monsieur?
Well, yes, mademoiselle, very. Aren't you?
Within reason. Well, I really must be going now. Oh, I'd like you to meet my aunt. She adores officers.
Do you?
Some of them. Oh, if they're good dancers.
Oh, I'm afraid I'll have no chance to dance for a long time, mademoiselle.
Your duties?
Yes, mademoiselle, night and day.
Don't you ever sleep?
Rarely. But obviously, all dreams do not come in sleep. Please take no offense if I don't accept your invitation, mademoiselle. I regret it more than I can say.
It's quite all right. It was mostly for my aunt.
Kindly put me at her feet.
Of course. When the ship gets to New Orleans, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we met again anyway.
You might be very much surprised, mademoiselle.
Oh, well, it's been charming meeting you, monsieur.
I remain enchanted, mademoiselle.
Charles Henry. Oh, nothing in particular.
Come, dear, the governor's arriving. Yes, dear, yes. Oh, pardon me. See for yourself. Well, darling, the governor isn't going to pop down from the mainmast.
Are you looking for something, mademoiselle?
Oh, no, just the maneuvering.
Just the maneuvering, eh?
Good morning, Captain.
Your Excellency.
Please show me to Mademoiselle de Beaumanoir.
Mademoiselle de Beaumanoir, may I present His Excellency the Governor of Louisiana?
My dear Mademoiselle, as the governor of this colony and one of the oldest friends of your family, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you back to New Orleans.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Auntie, may I present the Comte de Barty, Governor of Louisiana, my aunt and chaperone, Madame Valerie de Rossac.
I am charmed, madame. I hope you will enjoy New Orleans. Brugnon. You remember Jacques Brugnon, mademoiselle? You were such a child when you left.
Of course I remember. I'm glad to see you again, Brugnon.
Thank you, mademoiselle. As administrator of your late grandfather's estate, let me assure you we are all happy to welcome you to the plantation as our new mistress.
Thank you.
Mardi Gras is approaching. Quite an affair, our Mardi Gras. You'll see. May I have the honor of escorting you ashore?
Mardi Gras? Oh, Auntie, couldn't we have a party and invite the ship's officers to the plantation?
Still maneuvering, my dear?
Ships may come and ships may go. What is it goes on forever, Julie?
Could it be love, perhaps, mademoiselle?
Love? Does love go on forever?
Well, I suppose so, mademoiselle. One knows how to keep it rolling.
Oh, how does one keep it rolling, Julie?
Well, that I wouldn't be knowing, mademoiselle.
Julie, do you believe in love at first sight?
Well, I found love at second sight more difficult, mademoiselle. Oh, I'm so sorry, mademoiselle.
Flowers for mademoiselle, sent by all the officers of the Joie des Anges before sailing.
Oh, all right. You may bring mademoiselle's breakfast up, and we'll out the tub.
From the officers of the Joie des Anges.
Yes, aren't they beauties?
Yes. One nicer than all the rest. Julie, we have a wolf in sheep's clothing in our midst. Go, send Brugnon to me at once. I don't like my overseer taking part in jokes.
Jokes, mademoiselle?
Yes, jokes. Even charming jokes. But even a wolf can be taught a lesson.
Yes, but I think I'll go get Brugnon.
Yes, I should think so.
Oh, put it there on the coffee table, but shh, don't make any noise. I'm not sure mademoiselle is quite herself this morning.
Chocolate, mademoiselle?
Yes, thank you.
Milk?
If you think so.
Sweet?
Yes, of course. I understand your ship sailed.
Godspeed to her, mademoiselle.
Don't you think your captain might miss you?
Oh, no, mademoiselle, not at all.
Have you given up the sea?
I had no choice, mademoiselle.
You'll have to explain that if you want to be believed, monsieur. You'll have to do a lot of explaining if you want to be forgiven. Oh, I'll admit calling on me under disguise is very romantic, but it doesn't make your presence in my boudoir any less embarrassing. Come in.
Mademoiselle.
Oh, Brugnon, come here. I see you found an exceptional servant.
I hope so, mademoiselle.
And I suppose you had no difficulty in persuading him to enter my service, hmm?
Has he done something to displease you, mademoiselle?
Well, I haven't quite made up my mind about that yet. Brugnon, I suppose you received a pretty penny for your share in monsieur's little joke.
My share? But, mademoiselle, I bought this man last night at the bond servants' auction. Guizot, your major domo, was with me.
The bond servants' auction?
Yes. I have the receipt for your money from the ship's captain. This man is yours for life.
Oh, for life. Oh, nonsense.
He was the personal valet of the Duc de Villiers, according to his papers.
The truth now, monsieur.
Every word you have heard, mademoiselle.
Thank you, Brugnon. You may go. So it was in the captain's cabin you were, disguised.
I was there as spokesman for my fellow bond servants, mademoiselle. I couldn't shock a lady by the sight of shirt sleeves. I used any coat at hand.
Knowing all the while I was mistaking you for one of the officers. Making the most of it.
Well, the almost of it. More chocolate, mademoiselle?
No. So, the officer was a valet?
Yes, mademoiselle.
What wine is served with fish?
Rhine wine with oysters, sauterne with sea fish, chablis with soft water fishes.
Yes. How would you announce the Duc de Villiers?
His Serene Highness, the 7th Duc de Villiers, Prince of Patois, Count of Villebois, Marquis of Reims, Honoré Canon of Jumièges, Knight of the Golden Lamb, Knight of the Cross of Creta, the Cross of Calatrava, Commandant Second of His Majesty's frigate, the Indomitable, Adjutant Major of the Admiral...
Yes, that's enough.
Yes, mademoiselle. Oh, and Moselle wine with crayfish, lobster, and minor crustacea.
Why were you deported?
I drank one glass too many of the Duke's excellent cognac and found myself singing revolutionary songs in the street. The prefect of police thought that my voice would sound better at a distance. I beg forgiveness for my attitude in the captain's cabin, mademoiselle.
Oh, I forgive you, before I forget it. You may go back to your duties now.
May I say that I'm glad to be in your service, mademoiselle?
You may go. What's your name?
Charles Henri, mademoiselle. Charles, if convenient.
Thank you. Charles.
Shoes to shine. Shoes to shine. fancy shoes for dancing and romancing too. Shoes for fashion and for fun, everything beneath the sun. Shoes that do not choose to run. Will I ever get you done? Shoes for shopping, going, stopping, shoes for rain. Long before I'm through, I'll have to start again. Shoes for morning, noon, and night. Every shade from black to white. Every type from boot to pump. Suddenly my heart goes thump. For I spy one special shoe that will tell me tales of you. Pray, little shoe, my petite one, say, little shoe, how's my sweet one? Is she aware how very much I'm caring? Love is a gay, daring stranger, bright with a flame of danger. So will it be forever, forever. As in a morning sunrise, the light of love comes stealing into a newborn day. Oh, flaming with all the glow of sunrise, our burning kiss is sealing the vow that all betray. For the passions that thrill love and lift you high to heaven are the passions that kill love and let you fall once more. So end the story.
Julie, who is that singing? Oh, that's Charles, mademoiselle. Hasn't he a lovely voice?
He has a loud, strong voice. Ask him to come see me at once in the library, please.
We'll take it all away.
You wish to see me, mademoiselle?
I do. Well, don't stand in the doorway. Come in, come in.
Gladly, mademoiselle.
Must you sing while working?
No, mademoiselle. I'm afraid I was over-enjoying my work.
Over-enjoying? What was your work?
Polishing your shoes, mademoiselle.
Was it the habit of the Duc de Vidier to allow you to sing while polishing his shoes?
I blush to confess the Duc de Vidier has always taken an exaggerated pleasure in my voice, mademoiselle.
Oh, I hold nothing against your voice, except that I don't want to hear it.
Oh, very well, mademoiselle. I regret having irritated you.
Well, it's not only your singing, it's your whole attitude that's irritating. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you listen. Well, you're positively assuming the manner of a nobleman.
Many noblemen have learned their good manners from their servants, mademoiselle.
That is a revolutionary remark.
Many a truth is, mademoiselle.
Now, look here, Charles. You may have been a rebel in France, but conditions are quite different over here. The one to command is a mere matter of circumstance, but someone has to command. It happens to be me. This you will please keep in mind.
Under any circumstances, even a duke should be proud to serve you, mademoiselle.
Now, Charles, you don't have to overdo it. But if you'll enter into the proper spirit, I'll be very glad to reciprocate. Who knows? You may find truer friends in this house than you expect.
I am deeply moved, mademoiselle.
You don't have to look at me that way either.
I was just trying to make myself clear.
Well, you have. I'm giving a party very soon for the Mardi Gras, Charles. Guizot is in charge of all details, of course.
Of course, mademoiselle.
You will do every little thing exactly as he tells you.
Exactly, mademoiselle.
After all, he knows more about the local etiquette of social functions than either you or I. We must give him his own way in all these details.
I will obey Guizot blindly, mademoiselle.
Thank you, Charles. And remember, servants should be seen, not heard.
You'll scream.
Just a minute, Auntie. Charles.
Is he Charles?
Well, yes, but what...
Well, my dear, it's all about him.
Oh, what's he done now?
Nothing, but Guizot just told me, Marianne, Charles was a lackey of the Duc de Vidier.
Oh, I know that. What of it?
What of it? But, my dear, he must know everything, but everything.
Oh, well, I'm not interested in the Duc de Vidier.
Well, you should be. He's made history and scandal. Didn't you ever hear about him and the Princess de Carabai? Good heaven, why, that man must not...
Auntie, will you please leave Charles alone? First of all, I suppose and hope he's not the sort to gossip about his ex-master.
Just leave that to me.
And secondly, I'm sure he'd find your curiosity most unseemly. Please leave him alone, Auntie.
Well, if that's the way you see it, dear.
But I do. For heaven's sake, may I hear about something besides Charles for a change?
All right, my dear. All right.
Excellency, Monsieur le Comte de Barty, Knight of Saint Louis, Governor of Louisiana, for His Majesty, the King of France.
Your Excellency, Madame, please forgive me.
Forgive you, mademoiselle. But your reception compares with the highest functions of the royal court.
Yes, my dear. It quite overwhelms me.
Thank you. Shall we join, I guess? Pardon, I'd like to see to the refreshments. Well, Guizot, you have made a sensation.
I was afraid so, mademoiselle.
Afraid? Why do you say that? Wherever did you learn to do all these things so beautifully?
I only did what Charles told me to do, mademoiselle.
Charles?
Yes, mademoiselle. I see he was right.
Oh, he was right, was he?
But, mademoiselle, you just said...
But I never said I wanted to make myself conspicuous, did I?
But just now you said it was all done so beautifully.
But I didn't say I wanted you to take orders from footmen.
Now, mademoiselle, your party will make history in our colony.
Oh, thank you.
Makes you the Queen of New Orleans.
Thank you.
But I tell you, I heard the story firsthand. I was just telling them about the Duc de Vidier,
Auntie.
But it's practically like bringing Paris right here to them. Well, the Duke escaped from the Marquis's house, chased by 20 servitors and dogs. The Duke jumped over the wall and climbed to the balcony of the Princess de... The Princess de...
De Carabai.
Yeah. The Princess de Carabai. The Princess rang for help, but before help arrived, the Duke was in her boudoir, where he remained for, oh, well, goodness knows how long. And although I promised not to say how many, at that very time, the Duke had 9 other love affairs on his hands.
Have you met the Duc de Vidier, mademoiselle?
No, never. And if my aunt's story is half true, I never want to. Dipilon, you're on, please.
Guests, mademoiselle, beg you to sing.
And, who told them I sing?
Guizot, mademoiselle, made that the feature of your party.
Oh. And did Guizot decide what I should sing?
Guizot is for one kiss, mademoiselle.
Oh, he is he?
dear, that footman of yours. We all noticed him during your divine ball. He seemed so devotedly attached to you. Did you bring him specially from Paris?
He's a bondservant, madame. My major domo buys them here.
Buys? Oh, my dear, you must sell him to me.
None of my servants are for sale.
But, my dear, this one is so spectacular. In a young woman's retinue, people's tongues are so uncharitable in New Orleans.
I wouldn't trust them even in Baton Rouge if I were you, madame.
Well, well, if you will listen to a few of the whisperings when you go back to the ballroom, you'll send him galloping off to me on your fastest horse.
Your carriage, madame.
Goodbye, my dear. Don't forget your fastest horse. I'll pay for both. Thank you, my dear man.
Marquesa de Villarosa's footman.
Good night, my man.
Alexander. Charles, your ship, the New Moon. She's arrived. We saw her drop anchor in the harbor from our stockade. At last she's come.
You saw her drop anchor?
Yes, Charles. She's lying about 3 miles out. Andre Dijon paddled all the way out and back on a raft. He read the name on the bowsprit. There it was in large letters. New Moon. Charles, we're waiting your orders.
Assign crews to the longboats. Send men to where they're hidden. Be sure they slip out of the stockades quietly. Don't let anybody make a break before dawn.
Aren't you coming with me?
No, not now, Alexander.
Charles, is there anything wrong?
No, not a thing wrong. I'll see that you all get aboard safely.
Just before dawn.
Just before dawn, that's right.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Au revoir.
Thank you. Lovely evening.
Ah, it's my pleasure. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Am I hearing things?
The slaves celebrating on the plantation, madame.
Are they eating somebody?
Not supposedly, madame. But it's carnival time for them, too.
I beg forgiveness, mademoiselle, for what happened tonight. I only meant...
Don't, Guizot. It was a superb party.
Then you're not displeased?
No. I'm really very happy.
Oh, thank you, mademoiselle.
Oh, Guizot, I'm going for a walk in the garden. Will you ask Julie to bring me a scarf, please?
Yes, mademoiselle. Good night.
Good night.
Mademoiselle dropped her scarf.
Thank you, Charles.
It's a strange ritual, mademoiselle.
You're a strange servant, Charles.
In what way?
Well, I don't quite know. But your behavior, especially tonight. The way you looked at me while I was singing. Hardly the...
I couldn't help looking at you, mademoiselle.
I'm afraid you've been in the service of this Duke de Vidier too long, Charles. You've even copied his manners, and from all I hear, they're not very commendable.
Not commendable?
Well, didn't you tell my aunt all about his perfectly disgraceful escapades and intrigues with one woman after another? Is that commendable?
Oh, that. Why, mademoiselle...
Not even a duke can make fools of women without degrading himself.
But if he should one day fall in love in earnest, wouldn't that redeem him?
His kind never falls in love in earnest.
He thought that too once, but
Are you trying to defend him, Charles?
no one else can, mademoiselle.
And I suppose if you were free, you'd go right back to him.
If I had my choice, mademoiselle, I'd never leave you.
Look, they're going to the Trouble Tree.
Trouble tree?
Yes, it's an old jungle superstition. The magnolia's an enchanted tree. Look, One by one now they'll stroke the trunk, each one chanting his trouble. The tree's supposed to take away their sorrows, grant their longings, bring back their loved ones. My nurse used to hum that strain. I've often tried to find words of my own to go with it. The sky was blue, the moon was new. La da da da, la da da da. Once when I was very little, my nurse took me to visit the trouble tree.
What was your sorrow?
I was lonely.
Were you less lonely afterward?
Oh, yes. That's the magic of the tree.
We have a legend at home, too. The story of a humble shepherd who loved a lady of high rank. Hardly daring to hope, he sang of his longing.
Did she hear it?
She answered his song.
I seem to recall that legend. And the song, too.
Remember the words?
My heart is aching for someone, and you are that someone. You know the truth of my story. You must believe what you see.
The governor's carriage, Guizot?
Yes, mademoiselle. The governor's in the library with another gentleman.
Thank you.
Yes, madam.
Sorry for this late intrusion, Mademoiselle de Beaumanoir. But may I present the Vicomte de Ribot?
Oh, I'm charmed, monsieur.
The Vicomte is a special commissioner in the King's secret police.
Oh,
Just here from Paris.
why didn't you bring him to our party?
His ship arrived only an hour ago, Mademoiselle. He has certain duties to perform.
The thankless duties of a professional intruder. Mademoiselle, unfortunately, my mission is official. As I have other plantation owners to see before the night is over, may I disturb you with a few details?
Oh, it's no disturbance, I assure you. Please go on.
My dear Mademoiselle, since my arrival, I've learned that you and other owners have acquired recently deported bond servants. Amongst them, posing as one of their kind, is the Duke Charles-Henri de Vidier.
The Duke de Vidier?
In spite of his rank and title, the Duke turned traitor to his king. Appointed himself the head of a group composed of the scum and rabble of France. On the verge of apprehension, he wasn't above hiding behind the skirts of a foolish, misguided woman who aided him in his escape and saved his neck from the block.
I presume you're referring to the Princess de Caravaille.
The Gazette recently announced that the princess had been exiled. No reason given.
Then what followed, monsieur?
We traced him as far as Le Havre. There we found that he had succeeded in shipping himself as a bondsman to this colony on the Joie des Anges.
Joie des Anges? Well, that's the ship I sailed on.
A rather unpleasant thought, Mademoiselle, that one of your own bond servants might be a fugitive from the executioner's block.
That is the reason for this visit, mademoiselle, to ask permission for an early morning inspection of your plantation along with the others.
Granted, monsieur. I shall instruct Brugnon to give you every possible assistance.
Imagine the Duke's surprise when he learns that his whole scheme has been discovered.
His scheme?
Mademoiselle, before leaving France, Charles de Vidier planned not only his own escape, but the mass escape of all the bond servants here in Louisiana. In fact, the very ship on which I came was the vessel intended to effect this escape. We seized it as it was about to leave Marseille. Well, the Duke's ship will carry him back, all right, but in irons.
Leaving behind some other misguided woman, I suppose.
I can assure Mademoiselle that there is no danger of the bondsman escaping. I've declared martial law. By morning, soldiers will be stationed on every plantation in the colony. All thoughts of plotting in the future will be whipped from their hides. Ah, Mademoiselle is tired. Come, let's proceed to the other plantations. Good night, Mademoiselle.
Good night.
And thank you.
Again, my apologies for a very unsocial visit.
I appreciate your visit, monsieur.
I've been hoping you'd call me.
Stay where you are. Where's your wig?
My wig?
Lackeys wear wigs on duty, don't they?
They might be in a mood to forget such details.
I'm not interested in your mood.
What's happened, Maria?
I had visitors. Didn't you see them?
I only heard a carriage leave. I lingered. I had new questions to ask the trouble tree.
You don't have to explain. What did Brugnon say your name was?
He said Charles Michon. The name's on my papers.
Charles Michon. You will go and pack immediately.
Pack?
I'm selling you. I'm selling you to the Marquise de Villarosa. She's on her way to Baton Rouge. You will leave immediately on my fastest horse. Here, take this note to her.
Do I deserve this? What have I done?
If you're found in New Orleans an hour from now, you'll have only yourself to blame for the consequences.
I demand an explanation.
You're in no position to demand. I'm being all too merciful in sending you away from New Orleans.
Don't strain your mercy to the breaking point. Such an endearing farewell makes me glad to go, and I promise you to ride fast.
Will you go away?
Goodbye, Marianne.
Friends, we're free. A pardon from the king? No, a ship arrived to rescue us.
Charles, do you mean it?
What do we do?
Where do we
Saddle
go?
your horses and follow me. I'll remember both. Charles, we both come for you. Take your chance through the bayous and never mind us.
If I escape, we'll all escape. We must reach the stockades before the Marines get there. Get mounted. Quickly. Come on. How many sentries at the gates?
2.
We'll take care of them noiselessly. Tie him tight. Ice. And bring his gun. Alexander, get the men out of the bunkhouse. Yes?
Quick, courtyard! They're near the whipping post! Courtyard, hurry! Release that
man! Men! The ship we were waiting for is anchored in the river, but it's in the hands of the police. Our plan's been discovered. In a few hours, the troops will take over the stockades. If we're ever to have our freedom, we've got to fight for it tonight.
You're crazy! What chance have we?
Where can we go?
There are a few men left on the new moon. It's our ship. We're strong enough, if brave enough, to take it back. Who's with me?
Not me.
I don't like it.
Friends, what have we to lose but a life of starvation and servitude?
But pirating a ship means hanging if we're caught.
If we're not killed first. That's right.
It's our own ship we're taking back.
The Marines will shoot us down like animals.
Would you rather live like animals?
Without guns, we haven't a chance.
We have a chance. Tom Boy, you were a gunner on the Spanish Main.
And that I was, sir.
Jacques, you were a sail rigger.
Aye.
There's enough seamen amongst us to sail a ship to the end of the earth. Friends, will you come with me and show the King's Marines how the King's rebels can fight? All right, if I have to, I'll go alone.
Wait, Charles, I'll go with you.
One man at last.
And me too, sir.
2.
I'm with you, Charles.
Now there's 4.
Me too.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're 10. That makes an army. Come on. Right to the Gonzales stockade. Tell the men we're marching to the bayou.
Aye.
Jack, to the Verduret stockade.
Aye.
Paul, to the Viron.
Aye, sir.
Who's going to stop us now?
Give me some men who are stout-hearted men who will fight for the right they adore. Start me with 10 who are stout-hearted men, and I'll soon give you 10,000 more. Shoulder to shoulder, and bolder, they grow as they go to the pole. Then there's nothing in the world can halt or mar a plan. When stout-hearted men can stick together, man to man. You who have dreams, if you act, they will come true. You turn your dreams to a fact, it's up to you. If you have the soul and the spirit, never fear it, you'll see it through. Hearts can inspire other hearts with their fire. Let the flame burn high, for tonight we do or we die. Give me men, give me men, go to the war. Then there's nothing in this world can fall or mar. fight and willing to die.
Fight, 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 shoulder to shoulder and bolder and bolder we grow as we go to the ford. Friend, there's nothing in this world can cause all our plan. When stout-hearted men can stick together, man to man.
Take him below! Make ready to sail! Loose all sail! Up anchor! Here, take the wheel, Tess. Steady! Hard by the wind.
I, for one, hope you never catch him, monsieur. No handsome man should ever have his head chopped off.
Why not, madame? Many a head has been lost on account of a handsome man.
Well, if he had told me who he was, I would have helped him to escape under your very nose, my dear Commissioner.
Be satisfied, madame. He has escaped under my very nose, even without your help. This you know, mademoiselle. Well, it's given him a whole fortnight's start of me.
The captain of the Fleur-de-Lis has my orders, Vicomte. You will not lose another day.
The Fleur-de-Lis?
A ship bound for Martinique, madame. The first one here since the bondsman's escape. She's sailing tonight. In Martinique, Monsieur Ribot will commandeer a battleship and start combing the seas for...
Battleship, Your Excellency? The whole West Indies fleet, if necessary.
Monsieur, does the Fleur-de-Lis return to France after Martinique?
She does.
Very well. Auntie, please order our baggage packed. We're going back to France tonight. Your Excellency, would you be kind enough to issue the necessary instructions to the captain?
Impossible, my dear. This isn't a boat for you. It's not equipped for ladies like you and madame.
But I am determined to leave tonight. This place has brought me nothing but unhappiness.
But, mademoiselle, this ship carries a consignment of brides from France to Martinique. Brides for the colonists there. It'll be crowded and uncomfortable.
Brides, I'd take that ship if it had a consignment of baboons. I'd walk back if necessary. Oh, Paris!
Auntie.
Yes, dear.
Good evening, my sons.
Good evening, Father. It's a very moving thing, Father Michel, to hear on the Caribbean Sea sunny vespers chanted as they might be in a village in France. I admire you for having inspired in these brides so much faith and courage.
Providence will reward them in good time, my son.
No better reward for enterprising young women than marrying fine, upright planters in one of these God-blessed West Indies.
Privateers. Orders on the range.
Get all women below.
Clear for action.
Oh!
Pirates.
Pirates?
But we'll be all right.
Mademoiselle.
You better help keep those women quiet.
A direct hit. It blasted her hull.
Taking water.
Prepare for boarders!
They stopped fighting.
Women. Come on. Well.
Look here, my man. If you dare put a finger on one of those girls, I'll slap your ears.
Stop your cackling before I spank you. Nobody's gonna hurt your babies, old girl.
Oh,
come on, everybody on deck. Grab the daughters. Come on.
So, the former captain in the King's Navy has added piracy to his criminal career.
And once again prevented His Majesty's alert commissioner from finishing that career.
Not prevented, merely delayed. In the name of His Majesty the King of France, I place you, Duke Charles-Honoré de Villiers, under arrest.
Technical to the last, eh, monsieur? Confine this man to his quarters, with due regard and suspicion.
Thank you.
Right
Come on.
Women, tambour?
Yeah, brides for Martinique, and millions of them.
Millions, huh? All right, keep them where they belong. I'll hold you responsible for their comfort and safety. Where's the captain?
In his quarters under guard, sir.
Come on, let's go see him.
A fine job for a gunner.
I'm sorry, Captain. Our first intentions were to coax you into sharing with us only your provisions and water supplies. Your gunners decided otherwise. With our boat sunk, I've no other choice than to take possession of yours.
But we carry several cabin passengers and a consignment of 60 brides bound for Martinique.
Very well, Captain. You'll please inform these people that they're in no danger. I'll manage to land them somewhere on the way, provided you make no attempt to recapture the ship before I put you ashore.
Under the circumstances, I have no choice.
Very well. Alexander, escort the captain to suitable quarters.
Aye, sir.
Here. Yes, sir. Go take the wheel. Lay a course southeast by east.
Southeast by east? That means rough weather, sir.
Even so. And keep off all ship's lanes.
Aye, aye, sir. Southeast by east it is. All right, you two on deck and in the rigging.
The captain in there.
Yeah, he's in here.
Lady passenger to see you, sir.
Later.
At once.
Oh. Well, this is an unexpected pleasure. Welcome to my ship, mademoiselle.
Your ship? Impersonating captain seems to be quite your hobby, doesn't it?
State your request plainly and shortly.
Even pirates may be polite, to say nothing of noble dukes.
A pirate may be busier than a duke. Your request, please.
I demand to be taken back to New Orleans immediately.
I don't think my men will like that idea.
I presume your men can be bought. Perhaps this will make them relish the idea.
Purchasing men seems quite your hobby, doesn't it, mademoiselle? Tambour, we must be nice to mademoiselle. She really saved my life.
And I hate to remember it.
You've made it a very unpleasant memory for me, too, mademoiselle. Still, I have to confess, your heart is much better than your manners. You may be a spoiled and foolish little aristocrat, but I'll see you receive the same consideration as the courageous and amiable girls we have the honor of carrying aboard. You will kindly join them and try and profit by their company. With the compliments of myself and my comrades. Tambour, escort our young lady to the hold.
Save your minions. I know my way.
I don't want to die.
You'll not die, my dear. Try and be brave. Mademoiselle! My arm, it hurts.
Oh, let me see it.
Did you stop this storm?
What storm? Nothing but a playful breeze. My pretty.
What's your reckoning, sir? 62.7 by 14.9. The island's uncharted. We're far off all ships' lanes. Everybody accounted for, Alexander?
Everybody, sir, but Captain Dijon and 3 of his crew. We combed the whole shoreline but could find no trace of them.
I saw them cast off last night. They were bringing the last boatload of provisions ashore.
Undoubtedly, they found it in the storm and sank out beyond the reef. You remember you ordered me into that boat. Fortunately, I preferred to come ashore with you.
Hi, sir.
What did you find?
My 3 of land, sir. Uninhabited. Plenty of fresh water. Mango, breadfruit, wildfowl, and lots of timber.
Good. Friends, you've all heard the report. We've managed to salvage most of the cargo. And here we have sun and earth and water. This island can be whatever we choose to make it. But we must all join in and work together.
You talk as though we were going to be here forever. I demand that signal powers be lighted to attract the attention of passing ships.
What? And have the king's whole fleet pop in on us? They hang pirates, you know.
No.
Yeah, by the neck.
No.
From yard arms like hay bags.
Mademoiselle, hanging or no hanging, our position is too remote for signal fires to be of any use. Besides, we've better use for our timber than burning it to ashes. Tambor, Alexander. Ice. Pick out woodsmen, farmers, and carpenters. Start work immediately. Ice. Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Have the women sort out the food supplies. Their job is to feed the men.
Aye, sir.
My son,
Father?
what is to become of my charges?
They'll remain under your guardianship. The first shelter we build will be for them. There will be no disorder on this island.
Thank you, my son.
Now, all you ladies, you'll cook and sew for the men. Look after the poultry and milk the goats. Now, everybody to work. Well, mademoiselle?
Well, monsieur? Shall I cook, or do you prefer that I milk a goat?
Well, try cooking, mademoiselle. Men are more lenient than goats.
You have no right to talk to me like this.
Oh, but I have, mademoiselle. Just as you had when I was your footman. The one to command is a mere matter of circumstances. You were very good to me. I'll do my best to reciprocate.
You're very kind.
You may find truer friends here than you'd expect.
Such as you?
Anger makes you very charming, mademoiselle.
Patronizing makes you very boring, monsieur.
you bring me some milk, please, Marianne?
All right, Emily.
Auntie, we need some more milk. Oh, this is preposterous. Surely there must be an easier way of getting milk out of a goat.
Oh, well, we'll just have to make the best of it, Auntie.
My compliments, Citizeness. You're doing very well.
I'm not working for compliments, and it doesn't make me a citizeness.
Hey, what's going on? It seems the two of your angelic utopians are having a fit of brotherly love.
Fine example. Who started this?
I did. I'll teach him to stay away from my Madeleine while I'm working. Your Madeleine, I'll knock your teeth off.
Never mind, I'll have no brawls here. If Madeleine cares for either of you, that's for her to say. Don't worry, a woman has ways of letting a man know. But we don't fight over girls here, we work for them. Now shake hands, citizens, you'll feel better. Go ahead. Good. Now go back to work. All of you. How am I as a peacemaker, Father?
Splendid, my son, but I'm afraid peacemaking will take more and more of your time.
Why, Father?
This is a very small island, and men will be men and seek all the happiness they can find. And some of my charges are very attractive.
You're right, Father. Alexander, ring the assembly bell.
Aye.
Friends, as you all know, our food and water supply is plentiful. From all indications, our first crops will be splendid. Now the time has come for greater ambitions and lasting joys. Up to now, we've counted ourselves by heads. Soon, very soon, we must count and figure by families. You girls, you had accepted exile to marry men you had never seen. Here you had your chances to appreciate the courage, the kindness of my comrades. You men, you've had the chance to find out the spirit, the decency, the eagerness, the help of these girls. To each new couple, every help will be given by the community. In a few days, a new moon shall rise on our horizon. Before that new moon has faded, this colony shall have settled down, not for years, but for generations. For a life of liberty, of fraternity, of equality.
Well said, my son. Well said.
Thank you, Father.
Do you like cassoulet, monsieur? Cassoulet, you like steak. I cook them Bordelais. Look, citizen, I've been stung. But monsieur,
Please, ladies.
And we want to love. We want to love you. We repeat it every day. We repeat it every day. Harry, and we want to love you. We will try to fly up to
Please, monsieur. Thank you so much for the opera, but, well, it's bedtime now. I'm just a poor working girl, you know, so I need some sleep. Good night.
Come on, fellas, wait a minute. Let's sing again now. Come on.
Mary, and we want to love you. We repeat it every day. We repeat it every day.
There she is.
I have something to report to Citizens VGA. Excuse me.
Mary, and we want to love. We want to love you. We repeat it every day. We repeat it every day. Mary, and we want to love you. We will try to fly out to you. We will try to fly to you. We know the worry and strife that comes with a wife, but here is a man who'd gladly give up his life to marry you, Marianne.
Very nice of you boys to escort me. night now.
Oh, we'll stay right here.
Come in. Well, good evening, mademoiselle. What can I do for you at this time of night?
This serenading under my window from dusk to dawn must stop.
What?
I'll not stand for these unwelcome attentions any longer. You started this carnival with your silly speech. I demand that you do something about it.
Why, most gladly, mademoiselle. What would you suggest?
Well, these are your men. Make them stop.
Oh, but this is a republic, night and day, mademoiselle. I have no power to outlaw singing, dancing, or wooing.
I don't want to be wooed. I refuse to be wooed.
You don't seem to have made your wish very clear.
But I'm hoarse from trying. They keep telling me I'll change my mind.
Well, won't you?
Do I look like someone who would marry a moonstruck beachcomber under a coconut tree?
Mademoiselle, I'm not even remotely moved by your anger or your indignation. After all, no man here has insulted you. They're simple men, and they court in a simple way. You may not like it, but you can't blame them. What concerns me deeply, most deeply, is that you've actually done your best as an unwilling guest of our colony, and that you're unhappy.
What are you going to do about it?
Nothing officially. I can't give you bodyguards or call a meeting to inform the Republic of your vow of celibacy and make you utterly ridiculous, can I? But, privately, I might do much better.
Privately?
Well, under the circumstances, I might let you marry me.
You might let me marry you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize, monsieur, that I'm not in love with you? That I have no intention of falling in love with you? And if I should, through some unpredictable curse, happen to fall in love with you, I'd run to the nearest cliff and jump off.
At least we seem to enjoy a perfect community of feelings.
Then why should I marry you?
Men will stop annoying you. As a husband, I'd have much more power in this matter than as head of a republic. I warned you from the first, this was a very private solution of your problem.
Much too private.
My dear mademoiselle, the only marriage I was considering was a mere gentleman's agreement to live in harmonious indifference under one roof but two ceilings.
You don't really expect me to trust you, do you?
Not if you overrate the temptation.
Well, I can hardly underrate your insolence, monsieur. I'll take care of my problem alone, thank you. Good night.
Marianne, we want to love. We want to love you. We repeat it every day. We repeat it every day. Marianne, we want to love you.
Smile.
I am smiling.
Pardon me, I wouldn't have known.
Oh, mademoiselle, I could cry. So could I.
It's fine, isn't it? What? You're being married. Oh. Oh, yes, yes. I want you to say something.
I will if you dare me.
I dare you.
Citizen. I thank you.
I am very happy.
There are no words to express my real feelings. This is a day I shall never forget. And I only hope that this marriage will bring Charles as much happiness as it brings to me. Thank you.
The bride, the bridegroom, and to the many little Charleses and Mary Anns to come.
Charles, aren't you going to kiss your little bride for such a nice speech?
Think nothing of it.
Let's have some music. Our sincere congratulations on the lovely bride you're choosing.
Oh, I've said goodbye to freedom. she has made it worth the losing.
I know that my life will be like heaven to me, a joy from the dawn. I'll be the happiest bride, just walking beside the man of my heart.
A sincere appreciation, may our married life be sunny. With a little bride like my bride, life will be all milk and honey. We'll try our best to forever, ever and ever keep love in bloom. And we'll never make love All right, now everybody dance.
Tired, Marianne?
No, not at all. I'd like to stay here all night and watch them dance.
Very sweet of you, madame. Friends, just a moment. Quiet, please. We all have noticed how charmingly the bride and groom have endured our celebration. But we all have work to do tomorrow, and we can't go on forever.
Well, why not?
Because the time has come when friends must part and lovers meet.
Congratulations to you forever and ever. Keep love in bloom. This is our toast to the health of our happy bride and groom.
Good night, folks.
Oh, Marianne, it's all so overwhelming.
Don't be ridiculous, Auntie.
Charles, you must carry her over the threshold.
Don't you dare touch me.
Good night, Charles.
Good night, everybody.
Sit me down, you savage.
Gladly. This will be your room, madame. I hope you find it restful.
I shall, monsieur, if you'll bear in mind that I married you for protection, and that this is not the boudoir of the Princess de Caravaille. I hope there's a lock on this door.
A lock? Oh, yes, madame. Both our doors have locks. Speaking of the Princess de Caravaille, it seems, madame, that your aunt is more gifted in questioning than in listening. The princess who helped me to escape is 80 years old, and my grandmother, the Duc de Vidier, who entered her boudoir 60 years ago, was the 5th Duc de Vidier, and he married her. She has more heart and brains in her 80s than you have beauty and pride in your 20s. Here's your lock, madame. Bolt yourself up.
Oh.
Good night.
Oh. Charles! Charles! Did you say 80?
I said good night.
80? Practically 100. Oh, the darling. Might as well be 80 myself now. Oh! Ouch!
What happened?
Oh, I dropped the key.
The key? Oh, the lock. Did you hurt yourself?
Oh, what difference does it make?
It's my duty to take care of you. Come over here and sit down. Here. Let me see your foot.
No.
Come. Don't you know I'm a specialist?
Doctor?
No, a footman, remember? Hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Can you move it?
I don't care to.
Kick me, you'll love it.
I don't want to laugh.
All right, cry.
I don't want to cry.
All right. Now then, tell me.
I don't want to talk.
Well, nothing broken. Toes responsive. Ankle perfect. Marianne. Tears? The pain? Why are you crying?
I don't know.
We must find out.
I don't want to know.
Mean you don't want to say?
Don't ask. Please.
I won't. Here, you lie down for a while and you'll feel much better.
Yes, Charles.
Well, good night.
Good night.
Sleep tight.
Sleep well.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Luck in your dreams.
Luck in yours. Oh, wait, Charles. Thank you, Charles. You've just been very kind to me.
Did you expect me to beat you?
No, but it makes it so much easier now for me to tell you something.
I hope I'll be very glad to hear it.
Well, if I tell you, you must promise to leave immediately afterwards.
I promise.
Well, anyway, I think I may have misjudged you, Charles. I can't help admiring you for all you've done on this island. For your kindness to everyone. For your foolish ideals and reckless courage and for the joy I've had in helping. And I hope you and I will be very good friends from now on.
Thank you, Marianne. There's a lot to say for friendship.
Oh, yes. But one day, a girl in the colony will win your heart. I just wanted you to know that when that happens, I'll be very happy for you. I promise I'll not be in the way.
Thank you, Marianne. You sure this is what you wanted to tell me?
Oh, yes. And something more. For the time being. Please, Charles. Treat me in all things just like a second princess to Caravai.
Like my grandmother?
She must be wonderful. She has everything I haven't, hasn't she?
Well, everything but a few things.
Well, good night now, my friend.
Oh, but, Marianne.
Yes, Charles?
My grandmother always kissed me good night.
Oh? Well, don't you think my blessing might do?
Just make it a light and casual little smack. I'll close my eyes and never know the difference.
Yes, I know you won't.
Sounded like a cannon.
It was a cannon.
Charles, French battleships over the north side of the island.
Was that their cannon?
Yes, perhaps a signal for other battleships.
There isn't a minute to lose. Order all the men to the barricades, and all the women to the chapel with Father Michel.
Hurry!
Men to the barricades! Oh, Charles, you can't fight the whole French fleet.
It's fight or perish for every man on this island.
Charles.
Goodbye, Marianne. Forgive me for any grief I ever caused you.
Charles! Charles! Oh, you'll come back, Charles.
You must come back to me.
free, Marianne. The king is no more. France is a republic. The new flag of the free people of France.
But the shots, the battle.
Our friendly salute was mistaken for an attack.
Fortunately, Citizen Vidier observed our flag of truce in time to prevent disaster.
Citizen Ravel brought us the good news.
We're grateful, Monsieur Rebel.
Your salute, my dear Commissar, interrupted the honeymoon of Citizen Vidier and his bride.
Well, then, accept France's freedom as a wedding gift from the Republic. Good night. Good night, citizen.
Good night, citizen.
Citizen Vidier.
Citizeness Vidier.
All my life I've been lost.